Hi guys. So Baylor and I and Shea, we went back. We've just filmed an hour-long podcast, our first podcast ever, and went back over to watch it. Skip a little bit things here and there, and we only got, for whatever reason, about 30 minutes worth of audio. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that audio in there. We missed some of the good parts, but we'll just have to wait for another time to do those good parts again. Thanks to Baylor's idea. He came up with those. So we'll figure something else out for y'all. And so let's just get right into this video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. And next time, the podcast will be a lot better. And then also, as well, give this video, a thumbs up. Just... not necessarily because it was a great video, but to just support us really is what the thumbs up would be for. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, and make sure to stay tuned for more information coming out later this year and in a couple weeks. Y'all don't want to miss out. That is for sure. And yeah, let's get right into it. And basically, this video will just end with the normal outro. Or it'll just end. It'll just be an abrupt ending. So let's go right into it.
There in the stand behind it in this oak tree, and we were coming on top of the, what'd you call it? Bluff. Coming on top of the bluff. I saw like some brown name by the feeder, but I thought it was like just some cactus in the shade, and I just didn't think much about it. And we drove right up to the feeder, and there's stinking like 10 hogs there.
10 hogs right there. And I've got the AR-15. Baylor's got the 270. And so, his bolt action, and then mine being a semi-automatic, I just unleashed like 6 shots. And I know I hit one, but we couldn't seem to find any of the pigs. I could smell it. I could smell the fact that I hit it, and I think I hit it right in the shoulder, but it's just the AR-15. If you don't make a good, clean shot with a pig, it's not going to do... It might kill them, but they're going to run off quite a bit of a ways.
Yeah. Just
because there's not enough penetration, and there's not enough... It's like a really just small hole if it goes through them all the way, and it just doesn't give them enough to bleed out. So, I don't know. We couldn't find them. We could hear them squealing across the creek. There was one squealing. Baylor said... he saw one limping away.
He didn't shoot at it?
He didn't have the gun. It was thought out.
By the time Colt started shooting, I was like, well, there's no point. Like, it all happened pretty fast, but...
it did. I mean, it took a span of like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It was...
I would have killed about 5 of them in that time.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like amazed me over the past like 6 months. Just seeing different pigs that we've shot with different calibers of guns. Like the 223 and the AR-15 really doesn't do a whole lot, like Colt said, when you shoot in the chest. But pigs don't bleed a ton sometimes whenever you shoot them with guns. Like when Shea shot that pig at Pipeline that we got on videotape, we didn't see a drop of blood until probably like 30 yards away from the feeder.
And his intestines were hanging out.
He destroyed it, and it
destroyed him on the other side.
It makes sense to me if you hit them high that they don't bleed, just because pigs have like a thick shield. Some of them do, at least, and just a high shot in general doesn't bleed immediately. I don't know, but this pig was like shot pretty low, and it just like destroyed everything in his vitals, and he somehow just did not bleed for like
we also didn't
yards.
Really look for blood in the field, really.
We did
I mean,
bit,
we kind of walked around, but we didn't know exactly where he ran and followed that path to look for blood. At least I didn't. I was just kind of trying to see if I could find a big splot of blood, and it wasn't until later when we crossed the fence and whatnot and we're actually looking for blood.
Yeah.
Well, he probably didn't open up until he went under the fence.
Yeah, when he
hit forward, he hit his belly on the ground.
Yeah.
That probably opened him up.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you'd think like you just see like just freaking explosion of blood, I don't know, with a gun, but that's not the case. Yeah, and so, and then after Colt shot at the pigs, we went to go check some other trail cams, and we went to this spot called Hay Bales. We had a trail cam there, we pulled it, and while my dad was like uploading the pictures to the laptop, or did he just pull the card? I don't know.
He just pulled the card.
He just pulled the card. And me and Colt brought some fishing rods with us, and so we went up to fish. Fishing was good. Colt caught one on his first cast, a nice size one.
3.5 pounder, man.
And Colt can take it from here.
Okay, yeah. So basically, we got to the feeder, and I don't know. Baylor set down the AR-15 because now he had it, and then I had the 270, and I was like, there'd been a time in the past where Shea, they were checking the trail cameras. I wasn't there, but Shea had hit 300 Win Mag or the 270. It was the 270, wasn't it? I don't know, but they went up to the pond, they fished a little bit, and when they walked back...
I had my 308.
The 308. And when they walked back, there were pigs at the feeder. So, and then Shea took a shot.
Actually.
In the field. I don't know. I wasn't there, like I said, but I went and shot them, and which was awesome. So I was like, I'm going to take the 270 with me just in case if that happens. So we get to the pond, and I put it kind of at the top of the pond, just laying against a tree. And I go, and we're fishing, and I catch a 3.5 pounder right on, like, my first cast. And then a couple casts later, I'm talking to Baylor, and then talking to Mr. White, and I look over it. And so this pond, what? Okay, it doesn't matter. But the pond is, round like this, and it's got a little bit of more shallow end where there's like a spillway. And Mr. White is standing like right at that entrance of the spillway where it kind of divvies out. I don't even know what you call it. But I'm talking to Baylor, and then I look at Mr. White, and like in the corner of my eye, on the main back side of that spillway, I see a pig. And I'm just like, what the crap? Like, I mean, we're talking, we're making noise, not expecting it, and there's a pig right there. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get my gun. And I freaking, I dropped the rod, and I'm like, Mr. White, there's a pig right there. And then I drop my rod, and I go to get my gun, which is like 10-15 yards, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be gone by the time I get there. But by the time I get back, that pig is looking right at Mr. White, and he didn't have his pistol on him, and it starts walking towards him. Now, Mr. White's a little bit of ways off, but it starts walking towards him, and the instant it started taking its steps, I was aiming right at her nose, and I shot, and it hit her right in the neck. So it was a pretty good shot, and I dropped her, and I was like, man. Literally, I come to this place, I was talking to her, I was like, oh, should I bring my camera? And I was like, oh, I just won't do it. We're just getting trail cameras. What are the chances of us seeing pigs? And in like the first 30 minutes of the day, we seen 2 groups of pigs. So it sucked, but I don't even know if I would have been able to record that. It happened all so fast, like within 30 seconds, maybe a minute, but it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. And she was like, what? I think I posted a picture on my Instagram, which will be linked down in the description below. All 3 of our Instagrams will. Our social media, if y'all want to check out that picture. But it was pretty insane.
Yeah,
little experience.
It's always funny, like you go out there, the times you go out there not to hunt, it seems to be the times that you get a lot of action.
Well, there's a lot of action.
We didn't even bring the camera either. We were just going out there to check trail cams and come right back.
Yeah.
But that's all it took. You just never know. So now we'll move on to Shea's hog situation. So as y'all know from the last Fling Fletchings episode,
don't even get me started, man.
Shea was kind enough to let me hunt at this feeder that had a big group of pigs coming in pretty routinely. This big old pig was coming in with them that was like 250 pounds. It was a boar.
It was a big pig.
And so he's like, oh yeah, they're coming in right at dark or like a little bit before. And so I was like, okay, whatever. So took my bow light on my bow, was preparing for like a dark hunt or hunting at night. Get in the stand about 8 o'clock. About 8:20, I can hear him on the other side of this field. I'm hunting over this feeder that's 30 yards away. There's like a little patch of Johnson grass right behind it from like maybe 35, 40 yards to 60 yards out, maybe 70 yards out. And then it's just like open field. And then just tree line on the other side. I hear them like all the way across the field behind the other tree line. And like 5 minutes later, I look up and they're just coming out one by one from the trees and just like running through the field. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is sweet. And so I tried to film it with my phone. I didn't have like our main camera with me, but it was what it was. They're coming in, and I get a text from Shea, or I actually text Shea first. I'm like, they're in the field. And then he's like, where? Send me pics. And he was like, the feeder goes off at 8:30. And I look at my phone, it's like 8:21, something like that. And they're coming towards me. They're getting closer. They're getting closer. And then they get to about 100 yards out and they just stop. They stop right before the patch of Johnson grass behind the feeder starts. And they're just making all this noise. I'm just watching them. And I'm just thinking to myself, please just hold on. Don't come in until the feeder goes off. Because I know it'll probably scare them off if they come in, at least for a little bit. I didn't know like if it was going to scare them off for a little bit, a ton, like if they weren't going to come back. I don't know. But I was watching them and the clock's like ticking away. It's like 8:28 and I'm like, okay, I think we can make it. Just a little more. And then they disappear. I don't see them out where they were. And this big old patch of Johnson grass, I can just see the grass getting knocked down. I can't see the pigs. And I'm like, dang it, are you kidding me? Like, it's 8:29, the feeder's going off at 8:30. I'm just, hold on a little longer. And sure enough, the piglets come out, the big 250 pounder peeks out for like a split second and the feeder goes off. And just scares them all the way back to where they came from. Like they just, I thought they were gonna run off a little bit and stop maybe, but that didn't happen. They ran like 300 yards across the field. And then I was like, okay, well, they'll probably come back. And I would say they didn't, but I'm not sure because I don't know which pig I shot. But as you saw in the video, it got dark and I was getting down. I put my arrow in my quiver because I was thinking to myself, all right, I'll just leave them, come back tomorrow. Then they'll come in hopefully during the daylight and I'll get a shot. If it's in the daylight, I would have taken a shot at the big pig, but since it was at night, I wasn't going to take a shot at the big pig. So I thought,
taking a shot at the big pig.
But
I told you in the beginning, do not shoot that pig. He's too big for you.
Well, you said if you think you could kill it.
And then I changed my mind.
Yeah, that's right.
You shouldn't have changed your mind.
I told the camera that I wasn't going to shoot it. I literally said that. But it got dark and I put my arrow in my quiver. And I hear something at the feeder and I'm like, oh dang it. Because I can see it, like through the darkness, I can see this black thing. So I shone my bow light on it. It's of course a pig. And so I was like, all right, I guess I'll shoot it, even though it's stinking late. But
it's only 10 o'clock, that's not late.
Yeah, but once you shoot it and you get done tracking it. Anyways.
Well, you don't look that hard anyways.
And so I shot it and didn't end up finding it. The real question is, did I shoot the big pig?
Yes.
Yes.
100%. I watched it. You're like, oh, it was about 150 pounds, bro. I would watch that. Not only were you off about the size, but then Shea asked you in the video, he's like, oh. And
Did he squeal?
Did he squeal?
He did not squeal when you shot him.
In the field.
Well,
Okay.
if he was way out there, then that's different. But I asked him as soon as you shot, did it squeal?
You didn't say that. Not in the video. You asked me after.
I can't deal with this crap sometimes.
So, Baylor's got a history for not the best shooting sometimes.
Well, ain't that the truth?
We all have a history
No, well,
of
at
that.
least we find what we shot.
I have a history of
You
being
have shot
unlucky
animals in ephemeral arteries.
and killed them.
Every
time.
By the luck of the
Every
draw.
time.
Luck. Okay, that
Every
is
time.
all luck. That's not where you were aiming, though. And then, your biggest deer of your life,
You shot twice.
shot twice in the same area, which was the void, or the first time you shot it in the void.
He backstrapped him the first time, and then he gut shot him the second time. I mean, how do you gut shoot 155-inch plus
No,
deer?
what I don't understand is why don't you use that draw length as your excuse, being like, well, it wasn't correct draw length.
It wasn't correct draw length.
No, you can't use it now. Too late.
It just caused me to pull. I can't help it. That's why we
Exactly.
didn't find the pig, because I pulled a little left and hit it in the shoulder probably.
Well,
Probably, that's what I think.
But, I mean, that probably happened. Anyways, back to Shea's hog situation.
So, Shea, what are the hogs like now?
man, you know, for a while there, Baylor scared them off, I think, because they had just left that feeder completely. And I was thinking, gosh dang it. I let them hunt at the good spot, and this is what happens. You know, but they're coming back now. They're pretty consistent about 9 o'clock now, so
It's good. So
hopefully within the week or so we'll get another video out for y'all and shoot a few.
That'll be good.
Is the big pig with them?
No, I don't think so. There's another black boar, but he's not as big as that one.
Gotcha.
Well,
Killed my big pig.
All
I did
right.
see a bunch of buzzards flying around the other day over there, so
Gotcha.
it's probably dead.
Probably.
So, switching gears up to something pretty exciting, and that's for a lot of y'all, is deer season's coming up. You know,
Dove season,
starts at the end of
Elk
September.
season.
turkey season.
I mean, Shea's going on an elk hunt. We're not going on an elk hunt, but
Thank
you know, I bet Shea's pretty pumped.
Oh,
Shea's
yeah.
been practicing. What have you been doing to prep for elk season, Shea?
You know, so my dad and I shoot almost every night. We did two things. We have a block target with little circles on it. And we shoot the circles at 10, 20, and 30, and that's our squirrel target. And if you can hit inside the black, you have a dead squirrel. And then we shoot the elk target, we'll shoot 4 arrows out of it, so 10 arrows a set. And we'll shoot like 3 sets at 10, 3 sets at 20, 3 sets at 30 at the block target, and we'll shoot those 6 arrows at the block and then 4 at the elk. And then we'll go all the way out to 80 yards on the elk target. Now, will we shoot that far? Absolutely not. Could I do it? Absolutely. But realistically, our shot's going to be between 50 yards and 0 yards. I mean, they'll get that close.
Yeah, but it's always good to be safe than sorry and be accurate. And
Well, of course.
So, it's pretty good.
Like Cameron Haynes practices to what, 135?
Well, he
He's
practices twice as much as the actual shot he would take.
He's not a human either.
So if he shoots, if his thought is 65 and under, or let's easy number, 70 and under, then he's going to practice to 140.
Yeah.
Is what he talks about. And you know, he's a beast though. Not many people do that. And you know, there's never really be a time when you're going to shoot out to 140. I feel like I've never been elk hunting, so I don't know, but
No.
I mean, I know there are situations though where you might have to shoot at 70, 80, maybe even 90 yards.
Not where we hunt.
Well, yeah, you're a little different.
We're in the timber.
Yeah, so for them it'll be definitely around 50, and which is pretty good. And you're shooting spot on with that. So that'll be good. Shea's, you're taking the camera up there. It'll be interesting. So we're all we're all going off to college, and so I'm taking a GoPro with me where I've got fishing stuff, and that's what basically will be coming from my end for the next couple months until May. And then Shea's going to be doing a lot of hunting stuff. Dove season's coming around the corner. He's going to be doing some of that. Him and Baylor both doing some of the hunting side of things and maybe some cooking stuff. And of course, when I come down, you know, on the weekends, usually it's looking like every 3 weekends I'll be coming down, starting deer season, opening deer season, which is September 28th, by the way. We'll be doing that, and you know, I'll come and hunt and whatnot. And then of course during Thanksgiving, wow, we're gonna have to stop real quick because of that.
I can't believe we've been talking for 45 minutes.
Is the camera good to record? Is it gonna run out of
Battery
battery?
life.
It hasn't been recording.
Okay, there's something I can do.
It's on standby.
That doesn't matter. That's just like a. I'm pretty sure I'm able to record the last like.
We've been talking